Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Good morning, Blissful, Caroline Wah, OG Fish, Broken Bougie, What the Croc, True Crime Deduction, Jane. It's good to see all of you. Hey Andy. Of course, my neighbor starts cutting the grass. It's the way it always goes. Hey Jason, Caroline. I apologize for being a few minutes late. My time management skills are horrific. How's everybody doing? We are halfway through this already shortened week. And I am ready. I'm ready to be back down at the beach. Hey, Spicy. Hey, Lila. Make iced cha tea. Ooh, that sounds good. My grandmother used to make the best sweet tea. She would just sit it outside in the sun, and it was just the best. I'd give anything for a glass of that iced tea and a conversation with her again. Hey, Billy. Hey, Tattoos. Tropicana. Good morning. Being late is fancy. Yeah. Hey, sweetie cakes. How's everybody? Booberry. My kids are out of school. Oh, we still have we still have a few weeks left, and I'm angry about it. Like, why are we going so late into June here, folks? Like, it is summertime. Hey, April. Let me shut this window. Get that lawnmower out of here. Sun tea is the best. Is that what we call it? Oh gosh, it really was. So I've been what are you getting ready for? Getting ready for the summer? I've been looking at all the latest happenings, and I came across something really interesting. Has anybody in here been following what they have dubbed the treadmill trial? Hey, Lindsay, my kid's last day was the 24th. Now that's what it should be. Yay! See the drama? I almost in it. Yeah, we go late into June. Our last one graduated high school last Thursday. Oh, congratulations, Lila. My daughter has officially graduated as well. She has her ceremony coming up. On Friday, my little guy's turning 12. I can't believe it. One red rose, 22 months. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Froggy. Such a sad story. Put a one in the chat if you've been following the treadmill story. Oh, not story. I'm sorry. It's not a story. The treadmill trials. What's up, Jonesin? Hey, Summy. You've watched the treadmill trial? It does. It goes way too fast, Jason. Way too fast. A lot of ones coming in. So there's a few things I wanted to show pertaining to that. And then there's a few things I wanted to show with Micah. And then, of course, with Sebastian Rogers. I normally, my streams are usually earlier than this. So I had, like I said, a late start today. Ready for summer vacation. Let's go. Let's go to the beach, Billy. Go to the beach. Let's get away. So I know the trial starts today. I know not starts today, is still ongoing today. I know they have stated that he will not be speaking, which I'm not surprised about. Good morning, Gary. Sunflower Girl, Scottish Bluebell. I am not surprised about that at all. 24 months. I feel like we've been together forever. Yes, I'm going to speak on that as well, Elaine. You right there's my 3 topics today. We are definitely going to talk about that. I know. I can't believe it, AT. My goodness, I love you ladies. I mean, listen, 2 months membership, 1 month membership, it all means the same. But to have people that have been with me for literal years, it's such a I'm so blessed to have you all. Seriously. Yes, treadmill trial is the one where dad made 6-year-old, I believe, run on a treadmill, took him into a hospital where he died. Yes. I can't believe anybody would be this disgusted. Can a mod grab the link to this profile? And then we all report it. Yeah, I can't believe you'd be that gross. Okay, so yeah, who's counting? Anyway, that's horrific. That's exactly the type of people we expect to get with things like this. Hey, Megan. Hey, Sabotage. Good to see you. Yeah, Elaine. Yeah, that is pathetic. Just a nasty commenter up there. Just a nasty commenter, Megan. nasty profile, nasty remarks. You know, the people that are so bored in their life that they walk around in misery. Just one of those have come in. So I came across this and I found it really interesting. This is the second one. So if anybody, excuse me, I know there was another video going around of Bree, which is Corey's mother, and what they deemed the treadmill trial. So I don't know if anybody's actually seen this one, but I found this to be very interesting because there's two things that I discovered that I were, was very like mind boggled about. So one is, did you all hear that Bree alleges that she was forced into having relationships with Corey's father, that she didn't agree to sleep with him? I didn't know that. I never heard it come up. Now, listen, I haven't followed the case as closely as maybe I should have, but she claims that she was forced into relationships with him. That's one thing that really blew my mind, is that allegation there. So let me pull that up for you all. So she was a teenager. She was a teenager. She was not at an age to consent. Which I found very interesting. So I'll pull this one up first.
By the driveway, and he did was not
way introduction. That is what we are going to.
All right. So, oh, I was screen sharing. Oh shit, I didn't even realize. Okay.
To be going over today when we are talking to you as the public. I'm going to allow Bree to introduce herself, and then I will introduce Corey. So if you are assault, disgusting, they're going to be disgusting. So just be warned, there will not going to.
I'm 24 years old. I'm Corey's mother, and when he passed, he was 6 years old.
Hi, I'm Kara Witkowski. I'm with just 5 years old. When still a 7 story now that we have done introductions.
Okay. So let's listen. Hey, Roddy.
I haven't really talked about the very beginning of my story. This is going to be the first time I really do talk about what happened when Corey was conceived. I'm not going to go into many details because of investigations and whatnot. But so when Corey was conceived, it was not consensual. It was sexual assault. I was 16 when I got pregnant, and Christopher was 21.
So Christopher was 21. She was 16. She claims that she did not agree to have relations with him that night. It's going to go a little bit further into it. And it also blew my mind that he just met Corey. She was a bit odd. Good in. I don't really believe all of her story, especially with MGL. What did MGL do to her, Katie? She finds a way with everything. Hello, Winnie. Nasty predator. Yes.
After that, I got pregnant. I told him about it, and immediately he wanted me to have an abortion.
He's 6 years old.
So after that, I just tried to stay away from him. I didn't want him to be involved because I didn't want him to try to force me to have an abortion, because I wanted Corey. I didn't believe in abortion. And so like I said, I stayed away from him for a long time. He knew I was pregnant. He knew he was the father. He didn't come around much for 5 years. And he did once in a while, but
okay, so she's going to tell us here that his family, Christopher's family never knew about Corey. Christopher didn't want anything to do with him, and that she went and asked the government for help. She went and she tried to apply for food stamps, public assistance, which, housing, I don't know. She doesn't elaborate. But when doing that, and this is something they really need to fix, or it was her mistake writing down the name. But when doing that, they do ask you who the father of your kid is, because the state is going to get their money one way or another. So if the father of your child is not paying child support, the state will go after them for child support to pick up what they are paying for your child. Hey, the Wandering Sub. Your people to come to the protest Kara was having against the state, and then MGL never showed up and started trashing Kara. Wow. Interesting. Hey, Mystery. Oh, that's interesting, AT.
It was very briefly, just here and there for 5 years.
Yep.
And then when Corey
you,
was
Ann.
5 years old, I went and applied for government assistance. I didn't know that doing that made
Hey,
them
Leslie.
go and file for child support themselves. Like it was
So she goes and she does that, and the state picks it up, and they go and they file for child support. Christopher turns around and he asks for a DNA test. DNA came back, obviously, that Corey was his, and he stated he wanted visitation rights with Corey. He was only seeing Corey for over a year. He was only in Corey's life for a little, just a little bit of time, a year, and Corey ends up deceased. Hey, SS. So, OG Fish, I'm confused about your statement there. We are talking about what they have deemed the treadmill trial, which is a 6-year-old boy whose father not only physically abused him, but also made him run on a treadmill. About a day or two after this treadmill incident, where poor Corey is falling all over the treadmill. He can't keep up with it. He gets rushed to the hospital by his father, where he is pronounced deceased. The trial is currently happening right now in it. It's really a sad story. It's bringing tears to my eyes just talking about it. I mean, a 6-year-old boy, probably all excited, thinking he's gonna meet his dad, and now he has his dad in his life, and his dad did nothing but put him down and torment him for the year that he had.
Hi.
Okay,
Hey, Michelle.
hey,
Hey,
how you doing, Bree? Can you hear me
I'm
good?
okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. I got these new headphones, and my daughter was trying to show
So his Christopher actually didn't live far from me. He worked in Camden, New Jersey, which is really close.
me. So, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you guys
For
this
those
interview.
who don't know who you are, introduce
So this
yourself.
is in 2018.
I'm Corey's mother, Brianna Mitchell. I go by
Toby,
Bree, though. I
I
don't
do
like my full
apologize.
name, so.
Thank you,
No,
Michelle.
right? No, I hear you. First and foremost, thank you for coming up on the tail.
My mom's
show.
also here.
Oh, hey, what's up, Becky? How you doing?
Hey. Wait, how do I
How are
make you in it? I'm trying to figure out how to get her in it too. Oh, you don't have
I
to.
see her. It's okay.
Okay.
She's there. As long as we can hear her, it's all good. First of all, again, thank you guys for coming up here. I know these is trying times, this is troubling times. We as a Tails family, we can't
So
even
she
imagine.
tells a little bit of a different story here.
Well, he was a 6-year-old boy. He's beautiful. He was very smart, artistic. He was always happy. He was very strong.
At this point, Corey's father, Christopher, was not charged with murder. He was just charged with child abuse. We hear her state throughout these interviews that she reported many times to CPS that Corey was being abused. And every time Christopher came up with an excuse and it was overlooked, or, until the fatal day. It was actually on that day Corey was supposed to be taken to a hospital to speak with a doctor about the alleged abuse going on. And because it was Christopher's day of visitation, she had no choice but to send Christopher to take Corey to the doctor. Instead, Corey ends up in a hospital where he's alone as he dies. It's just horrific. It's absolutely horrific. It was interesting to see these early on interviews, to hear a little bit more about it. Thank you so much, Southern Gale. Yes, Notorious Ash. This is the mother. This is in 2018, before the news, before the fact that he was being charged in Corey's death. It's just a horrific horrific story. And listening to her in a more raw format. Thank you so much, Joneson. Is really sad because this mother, as young as she was when she gave birth to Corey, she fought. She fought to keep him safe. And this is another case of CPS failing these kids. He didn't even know this guy. He didn't even know this father that was abusing him for the short period of time that he was in his life. It's infuriating.
What do you want to say something?
No, I understand. Stuff like this is hard. I get it, So you take your time,
Guy's a
and
little giddy. I don't know. He's a little bit.
And I just want to make sure you're comfortable. So whenever if
She
you're
is
comfortable
young.
speaking, we can speak. If not, we could even put this off. I don't
Yeah,
want
that's
you
true.
to,
They broke up.
No, it's
you know,
okay.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to put that out there.
You can
'Cause,
see the raw
we're not about the
in her
suffering.
eyes.
I want you to be
Yeah.
able to come on. So
All
tell
right,
us,
you
how
talk
was that?
enough tales from the
Corey
pen.
until he was 5.
Here we go.
He knew of him. He knew I was pregnant. He knew I had Corey, and he knew he was the father the whole time. But he told me he was
Hey,
too
Lauren.
busy with college and whatever he had going on. And he never told his parents or his family about Corey. And then when he was
I will say that Christopher's father and mother seem to really love Corey. But there has to be something that it shouldn't be allowed because it's so. Do me a favor, don't advertise her in here, mystery. It's so sad that this mother was forced to give over visitations of her son to a guy she knew didn't want her son. And then look what happened. Less than a year later, he's deceased. You can see it, Jason. Thank you so much, SS. So I found it to be very interesting, just raw, non-professional interview. This is when she's in charges. She's actually protesting for charges to take place. They do need to do better. It breaks my heart. He told his mother he was being abused. She told them he was being abused. I think it's over here.
So it was a long history. It was a history in the short time that he was in Corey's life.
Yeah, I mean, he's had black eyes. He's had busted lips.
Right. I know you've taken him to the hospital and things like that. I read some things. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about that,
right? Wanderers.
Yeah. So
he's a predator.
2 weeks before he passed away, or I would say 13 days because that's the exact time. Corey lifted his hair, and he showed me this bruise on his forehead. And I said, "What is that from?" And he was like, "Well, my dad made me get on the treadmill, and made me run really fast, and I fell." And I'm sick of this by this time. I was like, I'm calling CPS, and I'm not taking no for an answer. That's it. Like, I've had it.
Why you say it like you've reached out to them before, right? For the other cases, right?
Every time there's a bruise or anything, I called them. I made reports. They investigated. Chris came up with some BS story, and Corey was too afraid to tell. So
CPS failed. They failed. And the day that she finally got answers, when they finally believed her because they went to the gym and they saw the footage for themselves, he was set to go see a doctor for the abuse. But because it was Christopher's date to have him, she had to hand him over to Christopher. And instead of making it to the doctor that day, that poor baby ended up in a hospital where he died alone. Christopher wouldn't even tell Bree where her son was that day. She had a knock at the door from the police around 5:00 telling her that her son was deceased. The system overlooks the dangers of these cases. The children suffer way too much over bitter partners, using a child to get their revenge. Yeah, it's one of those cases where it sounds like the father was like, if I'm going to pay for something, I'm going to own it. And that's what he tried to do. Yes, called the treadmill case, but I never looked to see what it was. This is it. Absolutely sad, Lori. Alone. The gym was an apartment complex gym. I don't think they knew what was going on. Yep, he ran out of state to hide from the police and let that baby die on his own. Wouldn't even tell the mother where he was so he could have his mother's comfort. Oh, Elaine, I'm telling you, I bet you she regrets it. I bet you Bree regrets saying, I'm not handing my son over. Should have had either supervised visits or restraining order against the dad. I do wonder why she didn't go for a restraining order. I do wonder. It also does suck because Christopher not only was older, more established, but his family is connected. And maybe that came into play here. I don't know. Absolutely horrible. Hey, Pristine, he left him alone to die at the hospital while his coward ass ran, and he didn't come back or answer any. The first message here, the first message he sent, Brie, was to let her know that if they keep talking about him on Facebook, he's going to sue them. After her son was pronounced dead, that's the first thing Christopher wrote back in messages. That's horrible. He didn't say, I'm sorry. He wasn't sad. Nothing, but not at that moment, not at the moment of the death. I can only hope so, Fletch. He did not live with his parents at the moment of Corey's death. No. Nope. He ran, didn't turn his phone back on until he got in touch with a high-profile attorney. Messaged the mother back saying, if you keep saying shit about me on Facebook, I'm going to sue you. And at that time of that interview, he was not facing murder charges, just he had child abuse. Of course, we know today he is in trial for Corey's death. And it was just stated that he will not be speaking. I don't think anybody wants to hear from him. Freaking coward. Makes me sick. I'll show you this and then we'll move to the next on our docket.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Mr. Greger, are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication? You understand you have a right to testify in this case in your own defense. Conversely, you also have a corresponding right to remain silent and not testify in this case. Do you understand both of those rights?
I understand.
Have you had a full and fair opportunity to meet with your attorney to go over that decision?
Yes.
If you elect not to testify and thereby exercise your constitutional right to remain silent, no one may comment to the jury on your decision not to testify. Not me, and especially not the prosecutor. Do you understand that?
I do.
That's the
If
father.
you decide not to testify, there is a charge I would give to the jury with your consent. That charge would be, quote, as you know, Christopher Greger elected not to testify at trial. It is his constitutional right to remain silent. You must not consider for any purpose or in any manner in arriving at your verdict the fact that Christopher Greger did not testify.
This is a man who told a 6-year-old little boy that he was fat, that he needed to exercise because he was fat. There was nothing fat about Corey. Corey was a happy, healthy child. It blows my mind. Parents that find themselves trying to protect their child against the abuser knows there isn't a lot of help in the system, and they know they can in turn be kept from their child if they break laws. It's horrific. Hey, Sasha. I'm actually turning it off, Michelle. I can't watch him either. He makes me sick. Spoiled, entitled piece of shit. But hearing that he was so much older than Bree, than Corey's mother, was very interesting. I don't recall that coming up in the hearing. He did. He bit his head. You see little Corey's feet trying to run to keep up with the treadmill. That poor baby. Poor baby. Oof. I don't know if Corey was an addict. I don't know if he was just, I don't know. I know Bree has a history, which goes on to my next thing. Who here has heard about Nick Rekieta and his latest charges? Put a 1 in the chat. This one, I'll be taking a little different approach to. I know a lot of people. Whoa. He was very popular during the Johnny Depp. Lots of ones coming up. The whole backstory to Nick is really telling. Now, I thought he was kind of, you know, I thought he was an asshole, right? I'm not gonna lie. I always thought he was an asshole. He was very, like he tried to be edgelord, right? He tried to be like just this funny, uncouth type of person. He wasn't. Who was a stalker looking beyond? Hey, Sammy. So if you've ever watched Nick, you could see the huge drastic change and what was going on with him. It was actually really sad to witness. I mean, there's no doubt people knew there was something going on with him. I just don't think they expected it to be what it was. I think the best way to show it is through this.
An unspoken of reason why this YouTube channel has been able
A
to take
lot
off,
of
and I've been
drugs.
able to make more and more videos, and an unspoken of reason why
The
I
house
went from
always
working
wins.
80 hours doing multiple jobs, just trying to stay afloat, to only needing to work with my tea store. Quality is something that matters, sure, but only to an extent. If a tea is brewed in a forest and no one is around to drink
25
it,
plus
is it
years.
actually delicious? My business would mean nothing.
I'll tell you what, I personally don't think Nick's gonna get much time. I think he's an attorney, right? So Nick Rekieta is an attorney who started a YouTube channel during the pandemic. He really blew up. People, he get over 100,000 in there at a time. He was really popular. But over the years, you could see the slow like change in him. Like he started losing weight, he started getting a little more cocky, arrogant, you name it, all the things. That's what he started doing until we end up where he is today, which is arrested. He was arrested with a hell of a lot of drugs, guns on him, but most importantly, his children were being neglected. And I think that was the saddest part about it for me, was hearing the arrest warrant and all it entailed. The search warrant, I mean. It was really sad. It was really sad because it was actually the priest. Or I shouldn't say it was the priest because I don't know what type of, but it was the church that reported him. They give him 25 years. I don't think he was sentenced yet. Is Nick himself anybody? Yes, he's an attorney. The gone appearance, his alcoholism was becoming more and more obvious through the screen. You could see it. But it is his first offense, and it does involve addiction. So there is a good chance that if he plays his cards right, and he does the one thing he's always told others not to do, which is self-represent, I think he'd be okay. I think if he went to rehab, admitted he was wrong, but who knows? Because at this time, it seems like he's trying to represent himself and the woman that was with him when they were arrested, which apparently was his like swinger partner. It's all very interesting. He is in defiance currently, but I bet he lawyers up and comes to his senses. Yeah, party is over. He does have an attorney now. Okay. He got reported by mandated reporters. Yeah. Apparently his kids were telling their preschool teacher that they were hungry. They weren't being bathed. They were wearing the same clothes. It's really sad. It's really sad. It's really sad for his kids. His kids, I believe, are between the ages of 6 and 16. And they were hungry. They were hungry. They were starting to smell. Yeah, Cheech. So I seen that. Put a 1 in the chat if you saw Nick as he was completely plastered and thought his camera was off. Their mother was arrested as well, Notorious. She was She was arrested as well, Cece. They were all arrested together. And they're new. So they became friendly with another YouTube channel, and they started like a little swingers type of deal between all of them. The husband apparently wasn't okay with all the drug usage, and he didn't, so he dipped out, but she decided to stay with them. And she went down with them. She was arrested with them.
Without the eyes that see me, which followed with the and Monica Rial, the voice of Bulma, erupted.
So this is
Old
when he
Nick
started.
was what has been dubbed a YouTube lawyer, which nowadays carries a much different connotations than it did back then.
Look how healthy he is there, right? This is when he started. And then this is horribly, it's actually really gross to see, where he didn't know his camera was still on. And this was just recent. He has $1 million home, kind of like a Ruby Frank situation, but different. Ooh, interesting. So he thinks his camera's off here. Well, yeah, he's deep in addiction. That's why. This guy's lost. I mean, look at him. Hey, Shay. Hey, Erica. Trigger warning for sure. This is while he's streaming. See, I don't think there's a woman under that desk. I think it's just him.
That's not the man who helped my tiny tea store all those years ago. That's not the man.
Oh, my goodness. It's a very sad thing to see. Very sad thing to see. Just an overall downfall of him. What the F? I know. Hold on. Hold on. That's not all. Oh, my goodness. So the biggest takeaways from the arrest search warrant is that multiple people went to the police. His pastor went to the police. The church preschool teacher reported the children were wearing the same clothes for days, starting to smell, and complaining they were not being fed at home. Police washed the pill stream during investigation, and they referenced the white powder in his nose after he comes back from saying he needs to go to the bathroom. And then they noticed that his physical appearance changed in recent months. So I know at first when this all took place, he was in his personal groups telling them that this is a conspiracy, that he's being set up. I think since then, a lot of his LawTube associates have spoken out and like told him, you need to get it the fuck together, bro. Like, and this guy he's actually a bit lucky if you think about it, because he is an attorney. So he has that advantage. He has tons of money. So he has that advantage. And then he has all these attorney friends. So he's going to luck out better than anybody would in this situation. But the fact of the matter is he was selling drugs. I mean, he was like the kingpin. The drugs, the partying, the guns, the sex. Hear him talk to her. She was under a table. That's a different clip. So he did this a couple times. Lord have mercy. They were freaky. I mean, he never denied that, he was into that type of stuff. Here, I'll show it. It was sad. It was sad. Addiction changes people, and it's sad that this is what he will be remembered as now. Like, this is his legacy is done. His children will never live this down. Behavior. They even bought the other couple of church with them. Gross. Absolutely gross. Snowflakes.
Top men on the appeal. And
now a person will be.
He lost his
Jorge
appeal.
Andaza. I'm like shitting on him here, and I'm not even meaning to, because
Thank
it's the way this shit works out. We'll show you.
So he looks nothing like he used to look like, right? You look at him, you can see he's all daunced. You can see the darkness. You can just see there's something wrong with him. Hey, Nicole. And the fact that other attorneys were still hosting him and nobody was like, hey, what's going on, Nick? Hey, Queen Bella. Haven't seen you in a while.
By the way, Marco Randazza, and me.
Obviously, did not win it.
By the end of this stream, He's like,
oh my God.
out of
Boom,
it.
you
I can
always show
already
up
see
for
it. It's
law
amazing.
tube stuff.
He wasn't doing.
I hope
they
you've
were
been
all
well.
using.
We've missed you.
So didn't win the appeal, which means, let's put it up front, which means the case goes on. We go through discovery, likely file for summary judgment again, because there won't be any.
See, here's my thing. Like, I'm sympathetic for the fact that this guy was suffering from addiction, right? I am. Well, they found a bag full of baggies, which they could get him absolutely for dealing. I mean, 25 grams of cocaine in individual baggies. He was actually a teacher in the church micro schooling group, and they kicked him from teaching ages ago for being scummy. And that's what I was about to say, Dante. I am sympathetic towards addiction. I'm in recovery myself, but I am not. He was an asshole. I mean, at one point, listen to this. At one point, a fan, if you will, in quotations, reached out to him. They reached out to him, and I saw that tattoos. They told him that the kid told him, I want to end my life. I'm not in a good place. I have nobody else to reach out to. I'm broke. I'm done. I don't want to live anymore. He comes back on YouTube and he makes fun of him. He comes back onto here and he starts clowning the guy for not having money to get an Uber to go to the hospital, for being so broke that he couldn't even afford to save his own life. Like, that's the type of arrogance this guy started to become. And when people become like that, there's a lot of people that are celebrating his downfall right now because of it. I mean, talk about a fall from grace.
New facts that are going to change anything. The only facts missing
See,
from the
Sarah,
previous
a lot of
summary
people
judgment
did.
was Montegraff's own damages, which he refused to provide. And for some reason, we need discovery for him to get his own damages facts out. Because
He's completely like not even, So, all right, we're going to go a little bit further into this stream on the 21st. And by near the end of it, this is what we get.
F.E. no cap on God.
That was so bad.
Trying to cap
So
God.
gross.
Patio Furniture says, I'd still trust Nick in his current state with a kid over Keffels. Never trust Keffels with a kid.
And then we find out after the statement he makes that his own children were so severely neglected. They were starving. They weren't being bathed. The house was a mess. I mean, listen, I get it. Addiction is horrible, but there were 3 adults in that home and all the money he has, and he couldn't take care of those kids. Hey, just breathe. He looks terrible, Sonny. He does. He looks terrible.
Oh my God. They're going to do one of 2 things.
Talker, listen, any
Chop
kind of
off
talk. Dude,
the
don't have a
male
problem. They will
child's
deny him like it.
penis to put in Keffels' butthole. Do Keffels trying to move on. Then they switch a fresh butthole. Keffels, while they're taking it out of the industry. And you're like, God.
See, like, even right here is mumbling, right? Well, we know without a doubt that he was swinging with a man. He used to have his shit together. He used to be, yeah. It's sad. It's sad, but it's also like,
God damn.
It sucks that there's
How
hundreds of
much
people.
butthole do you have? Keffels like,
I-
more.
I wonder
Get the fuck out.
if Nick's lawyers were watching this happen in real time.
Thinking WTF.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Well, I don't know.
Like, well,
So everyone says,
There goes
when is
that.
the locals reward going to be sent out?
Anyone that spoke to him privately.
Better
he's
and drink some
denial.
water.
But apparently now people are starting to turn on him now that they heard the fact that the children were being so severely neglected. People that were defending him are now saying no. And it does, Notorious, and that's sad. It is sad.
For Native Americans and quitters. So the same thing.
I mean, look at him.
Super crazy. Please wipe your
Native
nose.
Americans are quitters.
Confirm something.
Please wipe your nose.
Carson Depp says, how's your wife, Nick? She's great. She's upstairs sleeping. Cal Rolia says, would you trust Ralph? He threatened to kill his wife.
So we know
Like
his
children.
wife's upstairs
No.
sleeping. All right.
No, I
This
wouldn't
is
have
where it
Ralph
gets bad.
watch.
Oh, it got a little bad before this. They should
Noah says, this is a good impression of an online personality.
Don't do this shit.
Trying
Harm
to
everyone.
self-destruct. You're nailing it. Yes. You should figure it out.
See, he's arrogant there. He's arrogant
I'll
there.
be what you need, guys. Space Alien says there's a big trial
Yes.
with a former president. If you were sober, you do a good job with that.
He is a
Kids
cautionary tale.
Isn't a stream of the trial. They outlawed all photography and outlawed all videography. You can't trial stream it at all. No matter who
Look
you
at
are, no one gets to.
Hey, Music City.
It's come over, Nick. Yes, it's good. What I do with it is I cover your
Yeah.
mom's failures.
I
She's
cover
much
your
seen
mom's
it.
failures.
I don't know why, but I like it.
Hey, Grandma.
Cohen is looking for a lawyer, Nick. Motherfucker's got money. I'll take his case.
This is where it gets bad.
Roast Monday is a great stream.
Okay, I'm
And Nick
focusing.
was
I'm focusing. I'm
punctual.
off my
Amazing.
phone. Relax.
Nailed it. Cheers, Nick. It's a great show. Good job, Mickey. You normally say that about kids getting naked.
You normally say that about kids getting naked. Oh, he's so fucked up. He's so fucked up. Sadly, he has not faced his humbleness yet, Notorious Ash. But what's sad about it is his kids will never live this down either. His kids will always, this will always be everywhere. Everywhere. They will never escape this moment or these videos of watching their father do what he's doing on here, or their mother and them, you know.
And the Ghoul Machine says nobody escapes Cobra's Cantina. Mount. And then
Yes,
what the
Cheech.
fuck is
Yes.
that? Mount Anna, Ontario. I couldn't read the letters. Oh my.
Not just during this stream, but his other streams, like his parents openly admitting to being swingers on stream, the weird little hot tub sessions they used to have. Kids get naked. It's kind of obvious through his ramblings that he has this shit in his mind, subconsciously saying it and admitting guilt, right? Talking about men having sex and the lawyer you don't want to know. A drunk mind speaks sober thoughts. Yes, that's very true. Right. I can't imagine my kids are adults and they're still my everything. They will never live this down.
My God, they demoted me.
Yes, we can see it.
Like, oh, wrestlers are fine. You can be not Mexican, but Spanish. The ones who are going to crash.
So wrestlers are fine. You can be not Mexican, but Spanish. Like he's a fucking asshole, dude. The guy's an asshole. And he really did it for me when he was celebrating that one of his fans wrote to him about being suicidal. I mean, he celebrated that. Yeah, and he started by only reading super chats, keep grinding. And every time I turn into one of these law tube channels, they're only reading super chats. It kind of makes me angry, you know? It's like crumbs. Most attorneys are crimes, though, aren't they?
You're like, whoa,
most lawyers are.
We're looking for.
Look
like,
at
no,
his
we're not.
eyes.
We're gonna put you on heads and chop your bodies open. They're like, no, don't
Look
do that.
what he's saying
We're looking
there.
for.
Look
like,
at
no,
his.
We're like, whoa, this isn't content. We're looking for it.
we're
They're
not
like,
gonna put you
no,
on heads and chop your bodies open. They're like, no, don't do
chop your bodies open and stuff. Like he's not even making any sense, but the shit he's saying is concerning.
that. Some coof blankets. They killed them with disease.
With others in the house, that's true, man.
Smart, very smart. And then
they killed them with disease. Like, what is he even talking about right now? And then he's saying it was smart of them to do it. This guy's a piece of shit. I'm sorry, he is. Sympathetic to
anime.
Anime
sucks.
To him.
Kelp.
Now
Anime
get ready.
sucks,
Trigger warning. It gets nasty.
Anime does
Kelp
suck.
and seed.
Nick is right about that.
Law. Show on this stream and critique, please. All right, whatever. Let's check it out.
All right, you guys all be warned.
Let's check it out. This is gonna be a disaster.
This is
Probably true.
Why do I care though? I don't.
Say this is going to be a disaster. Why do I care though? I don't. She's like celebrating his downfall, Notorious Ash, like in a very giddy way. I think they have history.
Anime does suck, Rottweiler. That's a hill I'm dying on. Anime sucks.
No, he's
Oh
having
my
his inner
goodness.
thoughts come out.
Here's a disgusting point of interest.
Disgusting point of interest. What is he saying? Hey, Blue.
Why do you say that, Eric?
Now, I will say, I don't know why this commenter said this, but in his arrest warrants, the search warrants, it was stated that Nick did have markings like an addict. So I'm assuming track marks. I don't know. It could be scratches, whatever. It didn't really clarify it, but a lot of people are leaning towards, which is sad. It's sad.
You
It
like
is.
this?
Probably pineapple on pizza is worse
Anime or Zanime?
than
Yeah, here
anime,
comes
but
the
like
turkey
not.
jerky.
It's not. It's a close call.
I can't get the fats on screen.
Oh, Sammy, interesting.
Are you streaming tomorrow? Yes, that's the plan.
The
At least at
calendar.
night, if not during the day and also at night. What I'll do though is I'll find Marco Randazza and I'll nail him to a cross. Does it matter what cross? No.
And I'll nail him to a cross.
If it's the light cross, I'll nail him there. Be like,
I
by the
bed
way,
bugs. That is such a bizarre
your beard is
comment.
retarded.
You would
It's a
believe
lesbian
bed bugs
woman
over
for my
addiction?
mom.
It's a
I'll
lesbian
say
woman
that,
for my
send
mom.
this away.
Very
This happened
interesting
yesterday.
commentary here. That's what I'm wondering. Could it be the scabs? That's what I was trying to say, Dante. I kind of want to punch her. Sorry. I'm trying to talk over her.
Anime sucks cope.
Anime sucks cope. All right. Warning, it is coming up. I don't know if it's the anime talk. I don't know if the babysitter was under the desk. I don't know. I don't think anybody was under the desk. It looked to me like he was kind of taking care of things on his own. I don't want to look that far into it, though. He wasn't always weird, but he was always kind of a jerk. You know what I mean? Like, he was a jerk. They're coming on saying, I don't judge people what they do in their spare time. Well, you know what? Maybe it's about damn time we do. Well, you know what? Keep grinding up. I find that to be bullshit because they do judge people. They, especially Nick. Nick has judged a lot of people. He was self-pleasuring, all
Steve
right.
says, get along.
Where's their bed bugs? What are you guys talking
Show us on
about?
stream.
It was a fast
Nick
finish.
Cantini-
It was.
Nick Cantini is praised. Why would you do this? Why now?
See, there, he's either talking to this girl or he's talking to his penis. I don't know which. But why would you do this? Why now? It seems rather sudden. I don't know. But here it comes. People claim if you listen, you could hear her. Let's try. Hey, be good. Let's try. It looks to me like I don't want to look too close. It looks to me like he's rubbing one out, though. I don't know. Again, trigger warning. I'm so sorry. Gagging noises? Oh, Lord. Oh, gosh. You know how fucking brazen you have to be to do that right on camera? Right, his arm is moving. Put a 1 in the chat if you think it was self-pleasure. Put a 2 if you think there was somebody under the desk. I can't believe I'm asking this question. You hear slurps? Oh, God, Lord. I can't believe we're fucking having this conversation. Oh, Lord. Oh, Sarah, you should be timed out for that comment. Oh, gosh, it's so cringe. I know, then he rolls all over his face. Ew. I think he's moving her head. Oh, God. Sophie Longcase, he's a nut. Yeah. 1.5. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Why is my camera so on?
Why is my camera
You need to
so
shut
on?
the show down.
Right? Why are we having this
Play the
conversation?
credits. No.
Okay. Replay.
I don't know, Froggy. I don't think we need a replay. I don't.
Why is my camera so on?
Oh.
Can you just shut the show down? Like, oh,
Oy vey,
we'll
shut
play
it
the
down.
credits. No. What we'll do is we'll sit
Hey,
here.
Chris.
Guys.
He thought he shut it
Here's
down.
credits. Oh my God, Nick's drunk. Yes. Cool. I'll do it at your kids' family thing or whatever.
No, it wasn't that funny at all.
Why would you hire me as a babysitter? Don't.
Why does he keep going back to kids, though? Can anybody tell me? Because this is about the 3rd time he's had some really odd thing to say while he's completely wasted talking about kids. I don't get it. I don't get what he is saying here.
You should hire me though. It's an asshole. An asshole. Right? Anime. Anime
Kids,
sucks. Kelp
babysitter, I don't
or
know.
Sneed since we're kid law. Show this on stream.
Sorry, Andy. Sorry.
Usurious. Please, please.
I mean, at this point, he has to
I want to know
close
what
one
that
eye
is.
to see.
Fuck off. A bunch of degenerate Japanese shit in my air cone because it can't fucking spade it.
What? You may have some sort of sudden onset of nowhere, kind of like, is that a real thing? He is mumbling, but through his mumbles, he's saying some really weird shit. Really weird things going on.
What?
I mean, I don't find
Anime cuck.
it's sad.
Starts caps and head sneezes. Kid law. I show you this before the agents. Screen.
Just log off, dude.
My goodness. Orion wants his tracks. Would you like to know what your favorite food about papayas?
Like somebody's asking about his favorite food when he just got done doing that. I don't get it. He is really high. He is really high. And I'm sympathetic to him, but I'm more sympathetic to his children. I it's just a horrible, horrible thing. Look how bad they looked. Look how bad this is. And she was beautiful. Like, she was really pretty. The woman they were having their little threesome with, her, she's really pretty. Like, and they shot themselves out with these drugs. And meanwhile, there were children that were suffering in that home. So the search warrant was 2 days after that stream. Hey, Lady V, 2 days after. They are 6 to 16. That's true, Sammy. Congratulations on being in recovery. 6 to 16. OCD, masturbation, they do that work. Well, he's openly admitted that he's like a sex addict, if you will. He has become quite a D, but just the addiction what the kids endured is so sad. And what they'll continue to endure, because this will never go away. This will always, hey Spitfire, this will always be on the internet. 3 adults and 5 neglected children. No, he's in big legal trouble. I know, I keep hearing that, but I don't know if that's true. You didn't get notifications, Tammy? Well, hey there. Hey, Shar. What has this man done? Well, this man is a very popular YouTuber. He's in the Law 2 part of YouTube. And he was recently arrested with a ton of cocaine, a ton of guns, and neglected his children. It could, or you could even say sex addiction causes drug addiction. I don't know. You could be. You think he's going to, I don't think he's going to get much time. I don't. What I think he'll do if he was smart is he'd be in rehab right now, him and his wife. They would ditch off this April woman who, listen to this, during his arraignment, he asked the judge if he could have an opportunity to talk to his clients. He was going to represent his wife and their partner, April. And he found out that April has an attorney, that she was already released. So some people are thinking that she's going to speak against them. And I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. What do you guys think of that? Nick is really the godfather of LawTube. He really helped assemble many creators together. I'm just saying, many 100K channels from his help and guidance. I'm not dismissing that by any means. It just, he had a huge fall from grace. And unfortunately, the same eyes that grew him are the same eyes that are watching him fall. He don't do drugs. Well, that's really good then. Well, it sucks that he's a sex addict too. We're vulnerable to the other because so much self-medicating from childhood trauma is involved in both. They were swingers, and apparently the guy that was the husband of the wife, April, was not down with all the drug usage. True, but sex addiction is a separate addiction. Oh, absolutely, Lori. I wasn't saying one or the other causes the other. I'm just saying that they can coexist. She did. She got arrested too. Yes, she did. He's in complete denial. I think he's an idiot. He's in no shape to lawyer up. He has all these lawyer friends. He has all these lawyer friends that could help him. But he put his kids in harm's way and he never needed to. He did. He had the cash to at least make sure his kids were cared for. Not P. Diddy in the chat. People have become really odd. The mom, the dad, and the swinger girlfriend, April. This woman right here. Where'd it go? Her. So actually, I can show you. Hold on. I can show you when that guy's, that lady April's husband found out that she was arrested with him. Just give me a minute. It's actually kind of sad. Oh, it's on members only now. Damn it. Hold on. Here. Let me show you this. So this is April's husband.
No, I've watched. I don't think so. But
Hey, cousin Trixie.
not really any of my business anymore, is it? And have
That's a
you
good
been
question.
with in the last 6 months? How many women have I been with in the last 6 months?
Hey,
Honest,
Mike.
counting like up until today, 6 months ago, 3.
That's what I'm
So
thinking.
did April bring the kids back to Ashley? Well, oh my goodness. That's not a question I can answer.
This is his first arrest.
That's not I'm going to say I don't believe so. But I'm not going to answer that question out loud publicly. That's, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. It's just, before that, he's like doing like a DSP joke, and DSP's famous for jacking off on the stream. He's just so fucked up and out of his goddamn fucking fried Holocaust-bodied brain
Hey,
that
Plus
he
Mama.
can't pull it off right. It's a disaster. Look, one thing I will not joke about is the fact that I do believe he's got money. Go to Hazleton, take some time off, get the fuck off the internet, go get healthy.
No. He's not a cheater. They're swingers. They were all in on it. They were all part of it until this guy was angry about allegedly the drug use, which you're going to hear here. So you'll hear it. And he actually found out while live streaming that April was arrested with them.
You're rotting. You're literally watching a man rot. And the problem is he thinks he's too fucking smart and that he has to attack people who tell him this.
Yep.
Anyone who tells him, you're rotting, you're not doing well, you're physically repulsive to look at, you're pale, you look terrible, you need to go somewhere, you need to get off all the junk you're putting in your body.
He did. They slept together.
Even whatever foods you're putting. Let's change everything up while we're at it. Let's do like a whole system flush. Let's get you gaining 25 to 30 pounds at least. And let's get you back on a good track. You got 5 fucking kids. Quit fucking around and get your goddamn shit together. You know, money masks a lot of shit, but it can't buy a new soul. So get your fucking soul in order.
They do say vile shit for sure. They absolutely do.
By the way, it shouldn't take people like Alex Stein and me, who are fucking scumbags, by the way.
And he is a scumbag. And this is the type of people he associated with, though, right? Like, he absolutely loved being shock value. He loved saying the worst things he could say. And that's what he ran with. That's what they were. Rehab has great food, just saying. I just hope these kids, get the food and the love they need. No, the search warrant started with the church priest reached out. The preschool teacher of the church had concerns. The kids were saying they weren't being fed at home. They were wearing the same clothing. They were beginning to smell. Apparently, he was walking out during, church and everything. He was just acting very odd. They witnessed him driving nearly asleep. And then they also they put in some of his his streams where like he says he has to go to the bathroom and he comes back and he has, you know, white powder coming out of his nose. He is way more remorseful and he claims he's getting help too. I didn't see that Life and Laundry. So colorful things to say about Jews in his day. Yeah. The house was nasty. Yup. The kids were being homeschooled.
To tell a man who claims to be holier than thou and Christian and religious and blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't take a bunch of degenerates for us to tell you that your fucking soul is at risk. Not only are you dying, but you're rotting spiritually. And you're taking people with you. You know, I mean, I got the fuck away from that vortex. Because every time I tried to talk about anything being a problem, I was dismissed. I was, you know, you get that long explanation of, well, actually, if you...
Okay, you guys want to see where this douchebag finds out live that his wife was part of it? Here we go.
Live stream.
I will stand for a lot of rumors, but I will not tolerate sloppy toppy rumors.
Okay, is it physically possible she was blowing him while he was doing the live stream?
I don't believe so.
Hey, I'm not trying to ambush you.
They're talking about his wife. Okay.
Aaron, I'm not trying to.
How fucking dare you?
But I'm getting tons of messages, and I don't know if you want to deal with this or talk about it, or if you know anything.
We're not reading messages. People
No,
are sending
no.
you.
You need to. This is big for the show. No, this is big for the show.
This is big for the show. Listen, I'm not trying to railroad you, but this is big for the show. Like that's all these people think about is what's big for the show. It's like I don't know if they get bit with like a YouTube bug and a little bit of like, you know, viewerships and money goes to their head or something. But these people, they're just so inconsiderate. Yeah, he was divorcing. Absolutely, he was.
Everyone, I mean, I'm getting bombarded that
issue.
April has been arrested today with the Ricardos.
He threw his wife under the bus constantly.
And their mugshots are online. It's all over the place, dude. You know anything?
I don't believe that.
Is that her?
Say he doesn't believe it. Well, his wife, Baroness, they were swingers. They were supposed to, you know, there are rules to swinging. And then she decided she liked the drugs more than she liked, you know, the family life she had with him. So I understand his anger towards it all. Absolutely understand it.
I don't think so. No, that's not. No. There's no way.
I mean, I'm getting bombarded with this. I'm not joking. It's
not
even
say bombarded.
That's been edited. That's for sure been edited.
When you
Nick
say
Ricada and his wife are in jail for possession along with Aaron Imholt.
This is where I'm at.
No, that's definitely been altered.
Okay.
Say he doesn't believe it.
I don't believe that. That's
He doesn't believe it at all. He's looking it up.
silly.
I don't know.
Chad went with his instincts.
I'm just telling you what everyone's sending me. Literally.
Everybody. He's being bombarded by two things.
This looks real to me.
Gonzo, Aaron, is it true you really think you're
Oh,
funny? And do you
interesting.
also believe the majority of people who watch you cannot see through
This is
your
embarrassing.
inauthentic persona?
I don't really know the
Do I,
rules.
I don't think
I just know
Gonzo thinks
there's
I'm funny.
guidelines.
That much
think
I'm sure of.
He's being nice.
Yeah, no, he's being very complimentary. My inauthentic persona, could you pick a worse one than this if you were being inauthentic?
No, but I just like
The guy is
like that.
inauthentic.
I might use that as a title. I like the wording of
Inauthentic
that.
persona.
She was
the way that
living with
pops,
them.
Inauthentic persona.
She was
Thank you,
living with
Gonzo.
Ricky.
Agent Quar reminder: Snitch Zumach is a confirmed police informant
Holy shit.
and enemy of the people. Make sure to unsubscribe from his Patreon on YouTube before the long weekend and have a great Memorial Day weekend, everybody.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
up there on
you.
his phone.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Agent
please-
Quarrel.
Please sign up to my Patreon, everybody. I'm killing it right now.
Chad, are you a confirmed police informant? That's why you never go to jail?
This is when he's finding out. Hey,
There's a
curious.
lot of stuff about my life you don't know.
So you are?
I'm not going to confirm,
Check
deny
it out.
anything.
Now you got Aaron looking to see. Red Bar is copying Win by 2 radio.
If I'm getting these messages, Aaron is 100% getting these messages. And he's not saying anything right now, so something's going down.
I'm just checking.
You got to check.
Thank you so much, Eric.
I'm just saying, this
Thank
is not
you.
good.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so he's just saying it's not good. So now he's getting all the calls. He's now realizing this is all true. And they absolutely are, you know, she was arrested with them. It's not photoshopped.
Something's
November.
going on. I just got another message.
Red Bar is copying Win by 2 radio. He is?
She was arrested at 10 a.m. this morning. I'm just saying, dude. I'm not trying to be a
I
narc.
know.
This is breaking news, guys.
Pun intended. He's not
So
trying to be a narc.
This is not good. This is not good.
It's fake. If it's not fake, the show will never end. Will Heron, Aaron, can you tell?
Oh my God.
It's real?
Yeah, Sunnyside,
Whoa.
but it's good content. You heard him say it's good content. It's good for the show. They don't care. They don't care. These guys are all
Holy shit.
assholes. They're all assholes.
Wow. I'm getting more messages right now. Oh no. Oh no.
Wait, Aaron, this
Oh.
is real?
Like they care.
I don't know.
Fuck.
They just knew this clip would go around.
Wow. I just got another text about it.
This was the 23rd.
Fuck.
Dude, you got some work to do, brother.
Well, I mean,
technically you don't.
I think we can get those papers signed.
I'm
now.
glad that you're all here, Spitfire.
Wait,
Right.
so this is real?
So you heard what he just said. It'll be easier to get those papers signed now, right? Because he's divorcing her already, and this is just going to make it easier for him.
I just looked at the roster.
Looked at the
What
roster.
roster? It's a nice lineup.
The county jail roster.
I just got an inmate number.
Oh yeah, she was
Her
arrested.
inmate number. This is and the county jail number. Wow.
How do people
fuck.
find this out this quick?
They're fucking. They find everything.
Mm-hmm.
They found out who my fucking cousin was.
Wow, that's like the same thing.
I'm just.
But it's like kind of sad because if you think about it, you know, like the guy or not, he's a jerk. But it's kind of sad that he's finding this out live, right? Like this is his wife. He has children. Like this is sad. This is all over now. Now my feelings on Aaron, he's going to profit off of it. He's not going to give a shit. His super chat was on screen during this. Oh God, see, they just love this type of shit. They love other people's downfalls. But then again, they're fucking lawyers. I mean,
I
of course
feel-
they love it.
I feel. Oh man.
This
feel
literally just
so-
happened.
I feel so fucking bad for those kids.
This is worse than going on Ray's podcast.
The first one to mention the kids, at least, I'll give them that.
Wait, they were arrested this morning driving?
Thank you.
But did somebody snitch on them and they went to their house?
Yes.
Well, now I can't. Now the cat's out of the bag. I'm not telling any tales out of school. This has been a problem for a while, and I've been trying to tell them to fucking stop and get help.
Is her middle name? Can I just say this?
No,
Is it
no,
Diane?
don't. We don't need their middle name.
Chad, it's real. It's real, Chad.
Okay, I'm getting all this. I don't know.
Okay, he just said it's real. So wait, so they were arrested driving, or they broke into, or they went to their house?
I don't know. I think with how viral he went from that stream, my theory is someone might have called the police.
Yeah, maybe.
Or child welfare
Or
services?
child services or something. Yeah, that's probably it. Fucking A.
They're saying
God,
Melton's
I
fans
fucking-
are behind
dude,
it.
I fucking told them. You got to cut this shit out. I mean, I guess now that it's happened, I can come out and say it. This is what a lot of our fights were about the last 6 months. Is knocking this shit the fuck off.
All right. So that's pretty much that. But I did get some interesting emails. Now, your email didn't come through. Curious. Let me make sure. Did you put 2 S's in it? But I did get some interesting emails. I don't look at my emails enough, and I do apologize for that. This guy, Aaron, and asked that he is. I'm glad he at least mentioned the kids, the safety of the kids. I saw that, Queen Bella. But so I did get some information pertaining to Sebastian Rogers' case. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to jump topics real quick. Put a 2 if we should see this one out. And I can keep it playing. We can talk about their arrest warrants. We can do all those things, or we can jump topics. So Nick's children are actually named as victims. It gives their date of births and everything, so I won't be showing it on the screen. None of this is redacted. The children reside with their mother and father, advised that Rakitas had a live-in nanny for approximately 4 to 5 years. Shaney, who recently left the Rakitas and began working for another family within the church. This was a first flag for the individual who reported it. So Nick's lawyer, thank you so much. No one you know. Nick's lawyer, the reporters noted that he got rid of his live-in nanny that they had for 4 or 5 years. So that's why the children are no longer being taken care of. Total of 4 anonymous people made contact with Mellon and advised of the following information. Nicholas and Kayla have 2 homes within the property. A family who had been staying in one home renting, Jessica, an unknown husband, Hatfield, were asked to leave recently, and nobody's occupying the residence now. Nicole and probably because that's where they were swinging at, right? Nicole and Kayla Rakita have formed a new relationship with Aaron in April. That's the person we just showed. I was advised that Aaron and Nicholas Rakita do some type of blogging or YouTube shows. Mellon was advised that M. Holtz moved in with Rakitas as well. So allegedly this guy moved in with the Rakitas. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. The house is in disarray with clothes and other cluster items everywhere. The children are 2 boys and 3 girls. They have been noted to have been wearing the same clothing for 3 to 4 days with their clothing in disarray and starting to smell. The preschool director at the church advised Mellon that the younger children have advised her they are hungry and not being fed, and also made comments about the clothing. One anonymous party advised that they do not believe that the children born in 2012 and 2015 are being homeschooled, while the older boys do attend school. Wow. Another anonymous person advised that they observed Nicholas being lethargic and appeared to be high or drunk driving a car around. Another anonymous person advised that Nicholas will walk out randomly during sermons. Anonymous individuals have advised that they have noticed behavior changes of both Nicholas and Kayla, with Kayla almost appearing now to be anorexic and Nicholas to have lost a substantial amount of weight recently. Anonymous individuals have advised that they have seen what was being described as injection or track marks on Nicholas's arm. The M. Holtz, the guy we just showed on the screen, Aaron, is being is listed in here as helping them be drug addicts. They were also advised at one point that Nicholas and Kayla left with the M. Holtz to go to a casino, leaving the children alone, putting the oldest son, who was born in 2007, in charge. But that's okay because he's old enough. He's only been told about possible neglect and or drug use. There was 0 reports of any physical or sexual abuse, and that the kids were not in any immediate danger at the time of this report. So that's good to hear. The kids weren't in any immediate danger. No, they were too busy with drugs, it sounds. All right, so somebody sent this to me. All right, I did get yours. Thank you so much, Curious. I'm going to check this out. So I was told to go to this stream and listen. It says it's important. We are going to move on to the topic of Sebastian now. All right. Let's go over to here. I don't know what this is. I just got an email.
So I'm not getting ready to let them disrespect themselves. And here she is, Miss Heather.
Oh.
Well, hello.
The private investigator, Heather Cohen, comes on the scenes. All right. Sad story. It seems like Nick has not accepted reality. They used to have swinger conventions at the hotel. My daughter took over. She stopped them. Oh, sorry, Curious Idea. I hope you have a great day. He could save himself, Mr. Tomato Head. He could save himself.
That's Miss Cohen. That's she. How
Hi,
are you doing?
Heather. Hey, Heather.
Hi. Hi. Well, I live here in East Tennessee, Knoxville, and welcome to the Vault Excel. We just wanted to make sure it was you. If you want to turn your mic back off, that's fine. But you might want to keep it on so people can say, well, was that her or not?
You mean the camera? You may want to turn the camera off. So I don't know what this has to do with anything. Just we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you this: you joined for what reason for this broadcast? May I ask, ma'am?
I saw that y'all had shared my video, and I was
Yes.
like, "That video is so old. Like, who's sharing this video now? That's weird."
Well,
So
your
I
name
just
came
clicked,
up in
and,
the
like, as soon as I
conversation.
clicked, it was like, yeah,
Your
like
name came up. And I didn't know that you was on Discovery because the lady here, Tit for Tat, said, "Oh, well, she was on the Discovery Channel." And I think what's the issue? Because I want to be very diplomatic what I say to you, because I don't know you from a can of paint.
Okay,
I'm sure there's been a lot of.
I'm gonna tell you right now before you say anything. I ain't even worried about it. Like, do you?
Okay.
I've been through the ringer. Say what you
I'm
want.
sure.
I don't care.
I'm sure. Well, I just want you to know why your name came up is because of all this nonsense, and I don't keep up with it. Let me say that. I don't keep up with everything that's being said. And the one thing about me is I don't do all that channel hopping. I don't do all the Facebook stuff. I have gone over to your Facebook page, to read the updates and everything. I just don't like getting involved and trying to decide, well, who's telling the truth? Because I don't know what the truth is. I think the only question I have is about the audio. I'm befuddled about who leaked it. That's the only thing I have a problem with, and the other people probably in the chat have an issue with.
So who do you think leaked it, right? Who do we think leaked the audio? I mean, I can't even believe this is still a topic going on here. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I told you all that this was pertaining to Sebastian. So this is that this was just in an email. I didn't check my email sooner. This is Heather. This was the private investigator hired by Seth Rogers, who was dropped. This is the woman who was in the phone call with Chris that was released on the day that Chris had child custody hearing. So a lot of shady happenings going around this. That's pretty much the rundown of who this is. Now, somebody told me to listen to it, that it was important. I don't know if it was important because I haven't listened yet. So I'm here now to listen to it and see what's going on. Just doing it live with you all, checking out emails while we're live.
Your true intention of getting with Seth. That's it.
Well, I mean, I was hired.
Thank you, Laura.
I mean, they came to me. He came to me. I heard y'all, talking about it already.
Does anybody notice? Listen, I'm not saying this to be rude, right? Let's just keep it real. Does anybody notice the way Heather is speaking a little differently? Does anybody else notice that? Right. Blind reactions. That's right, Queen Bella. Put a 1 in the chat if you notice Heather speaking a little differently than she normally has. Because on other podcasts, she doesn't really speak this way, right? Like she's speaking almost like I'm in the presence of Black people. Let me try to, speak a little. Anybody else hearing it? I hate to be the one to mention it, but let's be real here. We can hear it, right? Okay. I'm not the only one. Whew. Like I'm sitting here listening, like, why are you talking like that all of a sudden? Not the only one. Thank goodness. All right.
Already, so I know you know.
Yeah.
I was referred to him. I have previous experience in the media.
It is weird, right?
A lot of what I do, a lot of the cases I work are cases that
she's
benefit
trying
from crowdsourcing, which is, when I got started with PI work, my mentor was Sheila.
Are they, Terry? Interesting.
Okay.
And Sheila, she's done a lot. She's a wonderful woman. She's a very, very successful.
Her delivery changed, right? Okay. I'm not the only one here. Not the white suburban Black voice.
Yes, but
yes,
myself, in what we do and being in the spotlight as much as we are, it's like, okay, people are going to hate us or people are going to love us.
It's a city accent.
We're not here to be loved or hated. We're here to do a job.
Okay. Let me ask you something. What do you feel? I don't know if you want to be honest, really just gut-wrenching honest about whatever happened with you and Seth. If that's just more a private situation.
No, well, the original question was who leaked the audio? And we kind of surpassed that, right? She didn't quite answer that. This is what these people are good at doing, not answering.
What really happened behind closed doors? Because
right?
He claims you all weren't doing what he wanted you to do, that Tony did what he asked. What do you think the issue is, if you can be blatantly honest with the Queen?
Well,
right. All right.
I talked to Seth the other day.
Okay.
And I mean, and I tell him, he wasn't happy with me about.
Now damn well, Jat, somebody's going to clip that and say, "Did you hear Granny?" Listen, I deal with people like this every day. I'm sorry, it just was very obvious to me. A lot of shade on the Proudfoots. She was named in a lawsuit in a media case. Court in situations, perhaps, Gary. Perhaps. Just noticed it. That's all.
Talking about what happened with the audio.
Okay.
You know, because I just put it out there, and that's something that he doesn't. Well,
Did she just say because she just put it out there? Did she finally admit that she put out the audio? Is that what we're getting here? Is that what we're getting here?
And you know, because I just put it out there, and
Put
that's
what out
something
there?
that he
Please
doesn't.
do. Thank you, Wade.
Well, I discussed that he had sent it to
She did,
Nina
right?
for the court hearing.
So let me ask you this: who had?
So Seth sent it to Nina. She said she put it out there, right? We heard that. Now she's kind of walking it back a little bit, and now she's saying that Seth sent it to Nina, right?
At the audio originally.
Originally, me.
Okay, and you gave it to whom? First person? Did you give it to?
That's right,
First
Dale.
person you gave it to?
I sent it to. I sent it to Tracy, my
Tracy.
my partner.
Your
I
partner.
sent it to Tracy. I sent it to another PI that is an associate of mine, and I know he didn't send it anywhere.
Okay, so Tracy was the first person.
Yeah,
and then another guy.
Trusted people,
Right,
and I'm like, hey, what do you know?
So
help me out
obvious.
with this. Like, what do you feel about this? You know,
So how many people did you send it to originally, sweetheart?
I believe 5.
5, and you
5.
trusted all 5 of those people.
And I still do. Yeah.
Do you?
Okay. Now,
I like
you
the way
know,
she
I
said,
mean, I sent it.
like, do you really? Because obviously the audio got out somehow, right? So, you know, do you really? Do you really? Good Lord.
To Chloe, of course, and Chloe and her associate, her colleague, whatever you want to call him. She was
Her
busy.
associate.
Yeah, she was busy, so she asked me to send it to him, and he would listen to it, and then he would send it to her.
So you sent a recording to them by what? Video text, or how did you do that?
Right, like what the hell?
I think it was email.
Does that even make sense? Like, listen, Chloe's busy right now, so send it to her associate, and then she'll listen to it later. You couldn't just send it to Chloe's email, and she'll listen to it when she can. That just couldn't happen. I think they were all involved on leaking it. I do. I think they were all involved. I think they're all anti-Proudfoot. I think they all planned it, and here we are.
An email. Okay, so an email, it can hold a lengthy video. Because I know I've had problems sending things by video by email.
If I do this, because I know I got ripped for vaping on a previous. Is this okay with you?
Well, if you watch this,
it's not hard to hear, is it, Tammy's? I mean, Lord have mercy.
Live stream earlier, you were like, "Whoo, she's raw." So yeah, you go ahead and you might as well.
I mean, some people's channels, some people's shows, like they're a little more.
Yeah, I know. I'm not
professional.
I'm not formal because my live streams can start off with us talking about the child, and then if you go back and watch this live, you'll be like, "Oh my God!" We end up talking about sexual things that some people may not.
Yeah,
we go from talking about this child to talking about sexual things. I can't. I mean, hey, I guess that's kind of what I did, right, Nick Ricada, and to well, whatever. All right.
Like if I was on court TV, I'd be, you know,
mild humor. Of course not. Yeah, I understand. Yes.
But,
no, I'm not one of the fake YouTubers that pretend to wear a suit and really care about the content.
Oh,
no, I've been in school
really
all day,
care.
so I didn't want to come on.
That's okay. I understand. So we've got 5 people you sent it to. So would Chloe's associate be 6?
Nah, that was part of the 5.
I mean, but you said she had somebody.
Yeah, that was part of the 5. That was part of
That's
the
a part of 5. I got
That's
you.
her 5 people.
So I don't understand this Trevor.
I don't get it either. That dude.
Did you send it to Seth?
No, but I did have to go back.
No, she didn't send it to him, but she sent it to so many people. She had to go back and see who she sent it to. This is so confusing.
You know, that was a question. You know, hey, did you send this to Seth? That was Chloe asked me if I sent it to Seth, and I said I don't think I did, but I'm gonna have to go back and look.
She doesn't
So I had to double check because I mean, there's a lot going on at that time, and you know.
That tells me if you have to go back and look at how many people you send it to, then you send it to too many people. Oh my gosh, SFs, please don't say it. Please don't say it. Were you, Jane? I see vaping doesn't bother me. I don't.
I
get
know
it though.
he asked me for it, and I think that was another
No.
thing he was not happy with me because I didn't
No.
want to send it to him. And some people are like, "Well, he's your client. You should have sent it to him." But it wasn't really relevant to the investigation, and all it was going to do was start more drama and cause more problems.
Okay.
You know, Seth.
So you released it without intent. You knew what this was going to do.
Seth and Chris both, like, I spent time on the phone with Chris. I spent time on the phone with Seth, and Chris is saying, "Oh, Seth this," and Seth is saying, "Oh, Chris this." And
yeah, I know what you're saying. Back and forth.
So weird.
Even though Chris was saying stuff about Seth and kind of threatening comments about Seth, like they both said things.
Of course.
Well,
so now she's going to admit that Seth has also threatened Chris. But yeah, was that recorded and released for everybody to hear? Or would that not fit the narrative that Heather's on right now, which is anti-Proudfoots?
Let me ask you this. With what you learned by talking to both of these people, do you believe there was a consensus for them to actually get together? Because that's supposed to be the purpose of hiring Tony, was to get the Proudfoots on board with Seth. Do you believe the Proudfoots actually wanted to work with Seth and Tony Mathis?
I like this lady's questions. These are good questions. I like them. I think she's right. Was that the purpose? Were we supposed to have these folks working together, or were you doing this with intent to cause issues? Why the hell did Tony come in? Where did Tony come from? What's his purpose here?
I can't.
She
I
sure
don't know.
did.
I can't really speak on that.
You can't speak on it, or you won't speak on it.
No, it would just be my opinion, and I'm not even sure that my.
Well, that's all I'm asking is your opinion.
Lay down.
That's all I'm asking is your opinion.
I don't think it was ever going to happen, and I think
Okay,
it was.
That's fine. I respect that. I respect that. I respect you being honest. I respect that. So you didn't. Okay. So if I'm just still confused at this Trevor business. Why is he angry with Trevor? Do you know?
Great question.
I've stepped back and I literally just saw where Trevor's supposedly, dating the girl that he was talking to. So I don't know. I mean, that's news.
Now she's talking about a whole different Trevor. The woman here on the screen, the vault, is talking about Trevor Lee. She's talking about T-Rev. This is how misinformation spreads. T-Rev is not dating. I mean, Trevor Lee, sorry, their names. Somebody needs to change their name. Trevor Lee is not dating Seth's girlfriend. It was T-Rev that was flirting with her in messages.
To me, I just found out. So I don't have any more insight on that than you do.
Okay. Because I was trying to understand. I said, well, I was assuming that one of you ladies sent him the audio.
Stacey.
And then people are saying that Seth sent it out as well, because I remember seeing it on Josh's channel. I'm just confused that why would he be angry with Trevor? I'm confused.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm
You
sorry.
don't think she wrote?
But he had to have gotten it from one of you all, right?
Yeah,
Who, Seth?
obviously.
Yeah, the audio.
Seth got it from Tony.
Then who sent it to Tony? Why are they playing games like this? The vault is like literally, keep going, girl, because you're getting the answers out of her. She is totally playing a game right now.
From Tony.
Somebody sent it to Tony.
So one of your people sent it to Tony then.
Right, one of your people.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know who sent it. I mean, like I said, I can't say where
that's
it
fine.
went.
I got
Once
you.
it went to,
So
James
Tony
Cody.
sent it to Seth.
I
So
know
is that your opinion, or you have proof that it got to Seth by Tony?
Tony told me he sent it to Seth.
Then who sent it to
wow.
Tony?
Told you.
Why is this a mystery? What the hell is going on?
He said that he hadn't listened to it, but that he thought it was cute that Chloe and I were trying to protect Seth, and that he didn't see any reason why Seth couldn't have it. So he sent it to him.
Lord,
so do you think this was the main breakdown of your relationship with Seth Rogers? This audio business?
I don't think that there is a breakdown with my relationship.
Okay. Well, I'll stand corrected. Okay.
I mean, he might not like that I'm on here talking about this again.
Yeah, but I only asked because it would be foolish of me not to ask you since you're here.
Right, the vault has a point, but we're still not getting answers. Why would the Proudfoots let anyone choose a PR person for them? It makes no sense. A PR person is supposed to be someone you trust, not a total freaking stranger. All of this is so bizarre to me because we're still not getting the answers. Like, how did Tony?
Because I'm just trying to get an understanding of what everybody's bickering about.
Yeah, there is no understanding.
He felt like you all had a problem with Tony. Did you have a problem with Tony?
No.
Okay.
What?
No.
So
I mean, whatever his background is, I know what people are saying. I know what.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, look, I said, if you want me to do a deep dive on you and, run a background, look at your criminal history and then speak on, I'll come out publicly and I'll talk about what I found and, maybe we can squash some of this, maybe whatever. He said, no, he said he didn't need that. He's
okay. Well, it kind of goes on with what Tit for Tat said, talking to him once in Messenger, allegedly. She said she talked to him and that he never spoke on his criminal background to the public, which I think.
Oh, so still no answers, right? Still no answers. How did the recording get to anywhere to end up involved in a child custody case? How did that happen? And most importantly, why would Seth think that would help in a child custody case? I don't get it. I personally don't understand it. I think this whole thing is so weird. Hey, Supra. I think this whole thing is so weird. There are so many shady people. I'm not saying Heather's shady, but there's shady happenings. There's a lot of behind the scenes. You guys saw where I showed you all that Seth's new girlfriend is intentionally giving misinformation to T-Rev to go live about. What do you call that? We're talking about a missing child. A missing child. And that's what they're doing. They're making up false information to go about. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Now, for my final topic, if I can find it. I found this very interesting. Now, I'm not normally, oh man, I clicked the wrong one. Got to go all the way back again. I'm sorry. Has anybody here been keeping up with the Micah Miller? I know there's been a lot more information. Hey, Mom Boss. Happy Wednesday to you. Heather didn't know she was talking about Trevor Lee, not Trev Time. No way, not buying it. Yeah, Seth sent it to Nina. Tony sent it to Seth. But how did anybody get it out of Heather's hands? I don't know what girlfriend he posted, KDB, but I do know in the messages with Michaela, that was Seth's girlfriend. That was absolutely Seth's girlfriend. It's a shame. It's a shame that that's how Tony became to exist, to be honest. Like in this arena, right? There must be a heavy delay between all of us because the messages are far back. Oh, they're trying to play 4D chess but struggle with tic-tac-toe. Hey, Chamba. Being a gross piece of shit still isn't the same as being a murderer, and everything I heard was so extreme I couldn't tolerate it. With Micah's case. What, Nellie? Well, her family and friends still aren't believing that she took her own life. It could be a case of not wanting to believe it. It could be a case of they have reason to believe she didn't do it. Come on now. Go ahead. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry about that. I had to get that dang cat. He had a whole rant about the whole situation. Who had the whole rant? I have several whole videos about Micah Miller. How much do you know? I know her husband and his dad are monsters. Yeah, pretty much know all of that. But I did see this interesting theory that I wanted to run past all of you. It's very interesting. I normally don't like these type of theories, but this one does make a lot of sense. And it's, I don't know, it's something worth seeing.
everything in this video is alleged.
Mind you, this is a theory. These are all
Bye,
alleged
Caroline. Bye, Baroness.
opinions, and I'm going to let the court of public opinion do its thing.
Okay, so I briefly explained this the other day, but here is 41 Grocery and Grill, the highway that Micah would have been on if she went to Dick's Pawn Shop and was driving up to Lumber River, would have taken her in this general direction.
So this is if Micah was driving. Now remember, they need to follow their guy. I had a friend. She did not. I know her boyfriend did it. Boyfriend's dad was the mayor of our city. Oh no, Nicole. I'm so sorry. Oh. So this is the water route and this is the road, right? Now,
direction.
It's weird.
She ends up getting off a highway here and drives over here to 41 Grocery and Grill. The thing that's interesting about this that I can't get over is that it's a long drive off the highway. And if the goal was to get gas and a drink, she has to get off a highway and literally pass Sunoco the second she gets off the highway.
Same.
My question has always been, why did she ever end up here, which will be a whole separate video. We're just going to talk about another way she could have gotten from this location up to Lumber River without ever being spotted. A couple things come into
now. This gets crazy, so follow along here because it might be hard to follow, but this does make the most sense. Okay, for those who don't believe she did it, for those that believe she was forced to do it, like somebody was there. I know her father mentioned it was like her hand was held, the bruising that was on her hand. This is a very interesting speculation.
Play here. Number one, the distance between these two locations by car is one thing, but the distance between these two locations by river is a whole nother ballgame. So I'm just going to talk to you while you see this journey here. This is 41 Grocery and Grill. It goes straight to a highway, and 6 minutes away is a small inlet called Gallivan's Ferry.
That is hard,
SS. So I mentioned this in the video the other day. You're going to see this is Lumber River. It goes straight all the way to Lumber River. But what we didn't know at that time was that Tom Winslow, or friends with JP Miller, who also went to Solid Rock Church, owns 200 acres of land that sits directly next to the border of South Carolina and North Carolina. And the property that he owns here literally is outlined by Lumber River. Of course, it's
JP's friend owns property there.
Not illegal to own property. He's welcome to own as much property as he wants. And this is all alleged. We don't know necessarily what happened on that property, if the property plays a role, but the fact that that property is sitting on the river where Micah was found is obviously a red flag. When we start to think about that, the property is outlined by, it looks like a snake, this river here, continues onward into another town, and then it lands itself into Lumber River State Park where Micah's body was found. The thing that we need to pay attention to is the fact that Micah's family talked all about the crime scene here. Then we also had
there are inconsistencies with the crime scene. I don't feel she did. I thought maybe she did due to how she was treated. However, the scene don't make sense. Exactly, Sophie. I came right in time for your comment.
Investigators go out, News Nation went out with the fishermen, and on top of that, Kyler Marlowe
and the fisherman's story keeps changing.
Marlowe and the investigative team that she's working with, NDB, have gone there in person, found the location, saw that it's about a 15 to 20 minute walk from the car, which is not super overwhelming. However, if the goal on the phone, the 911 call, was to be found, the part that we all seem to get stuck on and find curious is that she waded through waist deep water to get to this restricted area in order to herself in a slough of water that is completely off the path that you would ever take to like venture into the woods here.
So basically she ends up in like a hidden path, right? Like a path that is not, you can't be 40 yards with spent cartridges and it be a, yes. Are you crime belay? There's something here with this, right? There's something here with this. So the one big concern is that Micah was on property that's not easy to find, right? It's not easy to get to unless you're on a boat. That's why this woman's theory is very interesting. It would make sense why nobody, there's no footage. You can't find
So she was in a restricted area. She was found in the water. She was found over 130 feet away from the gun and the shell casings.
So that right there, SS, it wasn't moving water. So it's not like the water could move Micah's body down that quick. It just doesn't add up. It just doesn't make any sense at all. Right. It just doesn't add up. 130 feet from the gun.
And made a phone call to ping her location that she wanted to be found. I have a problem with that information. I superimposed the picture of Tom Winslow's property on top of actual Google Earth. So you could see the outline of his property sits on the border of South Carolina, and his backyard is Lumber River.
This is where it gets
what's really interesting to me is that there's easy access points here straight into the river that are off of dirt paths. So now we have
watch
the
this.
last point of being seen, which was 41 Grocery and Grill. We have a 6-minute away entry point into the river, Gallivant Ferry. Then we have a stopping point along the way, which is Tom's property.
That's true.
Not saying these things happened, but I think it's quite interesting that we're still driving straight up the river and hit another spot here. And then
I think what's really interesting here is that this property is owned by his good friend, right? So right where Micah ends up, just randomly, she just randomly chooses this state park out of nowhere, right? Never been there before, all the things. Her family's saying there's inconsistencies. She literally said, if I end up with a bullet in my head, it was JP. And then she's found with a bullet in her head. It's a little weird.
The police report said that Micah was found in this one specific spot. And when the family was brought out there to look at it, when Kyler and DB went out there to look at it, when other investigators in News Nation went out there to look at it, what's so concerning is that she was found in a restricted area away from where everyone else would be. But you know who wouldn't really know that? Someone who was on a boat. Someone who was on a boat wouldn't know that the pathway from the car into the water was in a restricted area.
Apparently they're looking into it, SS.
Someone who walked through would. So Micah would have known that she was walking through a restricted area. There would have been signs up. She would have seen.
That's what I thought, Sophie, but others are saying the water was moving. Did have her committed illegally. Side note, the guy on the screen has beautiful eyes. He's the one that faked the audio, though, in the Idaho, so I normally don't like him. But, you know.
Seen things that said restricted area, and she would have stayed on the path. But someone who didn't know that that was a restricted area would have been someone who took another method into the park besides the pathway.
Now watch this. That's where it gets crazy.
For instance, the water. So, the thing that has bothered me since the beginning is that the Grocery and Grill, she would have had to get back on the highway either this way or go straight up this way. If she went by boat, either willingly, which I doubt, or unwillingly, there's a piece of information that never made sense as well that I think is connected to this. Remember the phone call that Micah made to 911 and said, the dispatcher asked her, what town are you in? I don't think you're in Rob.
It's very conspiracy, but just hold on, Sunflower, because it starts to make sense. It does start to make sense. I know it's confusing right now.
Wilson County. And she says, Fair Bluff?
Fair Bluff.
I want to show you the last town with service.
Oh, yeah. I don't trust him either.
Nope.
She is, but there could be a reason Mr. Tomato Head.
The last town from Grocery and Grill, there's many of them. And one of them that she wouldn't drive through is Fair Bluff. And the state park is not in Fair Bluff. But you know what is in Fair Bluff? The river.
The river.
The river.
The river is on Fair Bluff. That's weird.
Gallivant's Ferry goes all the way up to Tom's property. And guess what the last town is between Tom's property and Lumber River State Park is?
Mm-hmm.
Fair Bluff. And when Micah on the phone says,
what's the address of your emergency?
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Some people believe it's AI. He is good looking.
Let me see. You don't know where you're at?
Hey, OG.
A national park.
What's the phone number you're calling me from?
843-655-5242.
Where's the park located at?
In Fair Bluff.
Fair Bluff.
Fair Bluff?
Fair Bluff's on the river, but
You
it's
want to know
not on the
why?
road.
Because the last town you can make a phone call from is Fair Bluff. And guess what doesn't go there? The highway. Either direction. The highway
That's weird, isn't it?
goes around it in either direction. But guess what doesn't go around it? The river. So the fact that she was in a restricted area on the river, and the only way you wouldn't know that is if you entered in through the river and not on the pathway. My heart is beating out of my chest.
I also found
That's weird. I mean, tell me that's not a little weird. Pastor's not a man of God. No, he's not, Chumba. You think it's AI? A lot of people think it's AI. Oh, gee, I'm glad it was just yours and not me. I found that to be bizarre. And then, okay, there's other things. Because I know SS, you're like, well, wait a minute, and come on, they kind of said it. But there are other things that come into play. Her family just doesn't buy it. They're not believing it. Hold on, where'd it go? It was really sad. It was really sad to hear her friends and family come out and say, there's something off in this. We don't think Micah did this. The marks, alleged marks on her hands. Is it this one? Maybe it is. Let's see.
In this story. And look, we have been quite fortunate to interview some.
We can go back there.
In
Hello,
this story,
British.
which we're going to get into. But before we even talk about anything, let me give you some background on this. So we're talking about 30-year-old Micah Miller. She was found dead at Lumber River State Park, just across the state line in North Carolina on April 27th. She had reportedly purchased a gun in the days before her apparent suicide from a pawn shop. The Robeson County ME ruling Micah died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Her body found in that park.
I don't know.
By the way,
Brian Burley.
talking updates, there was newly released surveillance footage that apparently shows Micah going to a gas station, getting gas, walking into the store to stop the theories.
Sorry. I'm looking for, all right. When her father comes out, he speaks. He says there's something off here.
No cameras, but we know she wasn't followed. Her car is just out here.
Now, we had a chance to speak with one of Micah Miller's best friends.
This one.
Bar, everybody, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Look how beautiful
And
she is,
I
too.
want to actually start. You were kind enough to send us several different screenshots of text messages that I think are important in the story. And I want to start with one that Micah had sent to you just weeks before she died. And correct regarding my relationship with the.
Thank you for your gentle warnings throughout the years regarding my relationship with JP. I know that you knew I wasn't ready to get out, but looking back, your warnings were very helpful. Now I've done it. She was happy. You do think she did it herself? I think a lot of people do. I mean, people are saying, like SS is saying, listen, she was bipolar. She had mental health issues. There's reasons to believe that she did it herself. But when her family comes out here and her friends come out, and the fact that Micah said, if I ever end up with a bullet in my head, it was JP. Just one time before it was reported. And that's by this lady here. Look what he sends them the day they find out she's deceased. This is what happens when you try to encourage someone to divorce the person they love and tell them they don't need medicine and that they're not ill when they are. Good job, Francis family. How cold is he? But I get it, right? Like SS says, being cold doesn't make you a killer. I understand it. I think there's something deeper here. I think that woman's theory on her going by boat makes a lot of sense. But I also am like knee deep in the fact that I don't think Micah did it. So, of course, I'm going to see things differently. Overall, it's a sad loss to the world in general. A lot of people loved Micah. She had a lot of friends, family that cared about her. This is her best friend here. Her father came out. He's saying there was weird bruising on her hands, like somebody was holding her hands, hold the gun. This woman is showing how abusive he was in private to all of them. That Micah seemed like she was happy. She didn't have a reason to do this. This is going to sound terrible. Maybe she didn't pass right away and got up out of shock and trauma, then passed. Because how do you explain her being so far? How do you explain that? That's true, Mr. Tomato Head. That is true. These people are alleging she was forced by boat, Katie. Apparently she put a pew-pew to her head one time, pulled, and it didn't. I know. They're saying JP or one of his associates. I don't know. Right. She wanted to help other women. She was looking forward to the future. Then again, if she suffered from bipolar, I mean, that would kind of be normal, right? I love to hammer this dude, but I don't know. I'm going to review it all since you think there's something there. I do. I personally think there's something there. There was a boat with 3 people on it within minutes of the gunshot that the fisherman saw. The fisherman keeps changing his story too. Was he paid off? Was he scared? Is he scared to admit what he initially saw? He did state there was a boat with 3 people on it. Now he's taking that back. There's something weird here. You believed her friend? Absolutely. No matter which way, do you think she's self-inflicted or not, he played a part for sure. Really, OG? I usually don't listen to the mediums, but I'll have to check that out. That's so sad, Katie. I mean, that's true. There's I personally think there's something here, though. I do. I know. It sounds like you guys don't, but I do. I think there's something more here. The fact that her father said there was bruising on her hand. I don't know. I mean, I guess her family and friends would have a hard time with this. Who won it? I just don't think she did it either, especially with her letter saying she ends up dead. It was him, right? I don't listen to anyone but her, as she was correct to the day about Diddy before anyone else. Where I'd find them in case they did it. So I'm found. Unfortunately, that's with me for life. Oh, I'm sorry, British. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. Absolutely agree. It's such a tragic loss is what it is. Mike is a beautiful, she's, oh. Interesting, Lori. I get it, Erica. Cut it? Well, he said it's on the outside of her hands, like somebody grabbed her. So I don't know. The father said it was more like, let me see if he does it here. He says it was more like somebody like held her hand. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's really just an unfortunate thing. I think there's a lot to it. I think that was everything, Jason. I think we covered it all. The PI came out in Sebastian's case, and I don't know if there was any relevancy or any answers really given there. Nick Rekieta, I could do an entire stream on that. That's horrific. I'd have to blur out everything, and we can retouch that and go through some of his older streams to where we are today. Poor little 6-year-old Corey. I hope his father, I hope he gets justice. I pray they get justice for Corey. Makes me sick that his father, Christopher, didn't know him. And the first year of knowing him, that boy, life's done. It ends at 6 years old. CPS failed that child. Poor Brie couldn't get help to save her son's life. That's horrible. Maybe, Andy. That's a good way to look at it. I tried, Jason. We fit it all in under 2 hours. We fit it all in under 2 hours. They are sad stories. If JP was a straight up non-controversial pastor, I'm sure there would not be so many questions. That's true. Awful he was for all to see. The treadmill video broke my heart. Oh, I know, British. I know. No, SS, but it's a good idea. Maybe we can do like Wednesday cover all type of thing. I did see good old Dolly's headed to Tennessee, and good old Betty has her she finally got her interview coming in, so we'll stay on top of that and see how that goes. And he said he was packing to head to Tennessee. I just seen him sitting at his desk. And then of course we got the lovely BJ over there. You keep taking those low blows, sweetheart. We're ready for them. Freaking clown. I like how she leaves out like parts of things that were said to make herself like a victim. No. Your husband took a low blow at my parenting, so I responded back just as low at yours. That's all. Hey, PBJ. Hey, Charles. Drive carefully. Did Betty get her car fixed? Who knows? Maybe that's what this interview's for. With his turtle ass. Turtle. Maybe he and Betty can start a love connection. Tony seems her type. Oh, Dolly's going to Crime Con, then Sebastian's area. Yeah, because I heard Dolly telling his fans not to pay $400. I know, evil. You're evil, what the crock. Evil. Fucking asshole. I can't stand her. Oh, I know I am Air Force. Thank you so much. But believe me, I know it. Nobody like her going to tell me otherwise. Freaking crumb bum. Tom Winslow is an AI expert. He's the one who helped him get Micah diagnosed before this happened. He has a lot of articles on AI. Well, that's concerning, that dude. Of course she leaves that all out. Oh, we got enemies. Got a lot of enemies. She does. She leaves it all out. Pretty much, Jason. Actually, I would have loved to have gone to CrimeCon. But yeah, so Megan actually went over Brittany's stream and put some truths out there. I can't stand her. I mean, she even brings up nonsense. And it's like, nonsense hasn't spoken on you in a week. Either you want to be left alone or you're like totally poking for us to respond. And it's the latter, obviously, because this has gone on for months now. I rarely bring up Brittany. She spoke about me. She talks all that crap. Her boyfriend, because they're not married, talks all that crap. I respond and she's a victim. Yeah, okay. Okay, I know it's so expensive. I did cover a little bit of it today. OG, we'll dive deeper into it. I want to see the latest updates. I hear now that Nick is humbling himself a little bit, so we'll see. Get my criminal game up. Anyway, I appreciate you being here. If you haven't, please hit the thumbs up. And yeah, I wanted to come live with you. So I didn't really have, there's quite a few things. There's too many things to jam into one stream, but there were so many topics I wanted to touch on today, and it's, thank you, Tara. I appreciate that. I just watched a clip that BJ has no right bashing anyone's parenting or if anyone has dealt with parental alienation, BJ, where everything is about me and everyone's talking about me. Yeah, pretty much. You as well, Sonny. Thank you. I agree, Catherine. Like, enough's enough with her. Grow up. Go away. I made one joke over a year ago that I was coming for a crown, and this bitch must have really thought she had a crown because that's all she brings up now. Listen, sweetheart, it was a joke. Nobody wants it. You don't even have it to take. I understand you got to get your starter fixed, but isn't there a better way to do it than to grift off being a fake victim? Don't you get tired of acting like a toddler? I know I can't even listen to you anymore. The fakeness, telling people to pull up. Your mask is slipping all the way, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Keep going. Keep going. Christine posted it above, Laura Lou. Right, Sunflower. Absolutely. You know it. Let me go ahead and log myself off before I say any further because I'm trying. I'm really sitting on my hands with this one. I'm pleased as well, Chumba. Thank you, Jason. See your comment. It's a dollar store one, I'm sure. Keep it. Right. We go there enough. We don't need hers. I know, PB&J. I know. All the time. Yay, Charles. I'm so glad. Dolly Khan's 4K from his subs go CrimeCon, said he was getting a booth, etc., but now he's just going as a visitor. Wait, he kept raising the price. Like, once the goal was met, he made the goal higher because he was going to get a booth and he was going to, advertise and everybody who supported him, and now he's not. Sunflower, I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard. You have no idea. Oh, I could absolutely go on for days about her. Days. But that's what she wants. That's what she wants. Oh, she freaking cried when the ambulance pulled up at the wrong address. Come on. All right. On that note, I am out. I will see you all hopefully tomorrow. I hope you all have a great day. Stay safe. hug a loved one, you know, all the things, and stay away from the grifters. Stay away from pieces of shit.